In this video, we explore the walt.id integration with HashiCorp Vault and how you can use it to not only create, but then use keys stored in a HashiCorp Vault instance to sign credentials and issue them to your users. Here, I have a setup on the left where you can see the walt.id issuer API. And on the right, just my terminal, where I will now start up a local HashiCorp Vault instance. So for that, let's go here and type vault server and in the dev mode. Cool, so now I have my HashiCorp Vault up and running. But first of all, we need to go here in the secrets engine and then enable the transit secrets engine to have the signature as a service available. So I will just go here and enable this engine. And now I could go here and create a key, but what we will do, we will use the walt.id issuer API to achieve the same thing. So with that up and running, I'm now back here in the issuer API. And if you go to onboard issue, we see we have our local key, which just gives you a JSON web key back. But also we have here now HashiCorp Vault Transit Engine. And here we have a few things we need to configure. First, the type, which is TSE key in this, and then our TSE server. So this is here pointing to the local version, but as I'm using a production deployment, I'm actually having an ngrok tunnel set up for this moment, so I can reach my local instance. So I paste in my public URL here. If you create a transit engine in your HashiCorp Vault instance, it's normally pointing to the /transit endpoint. And so I can just leave that as it is right here. And then I just provide my root token here as an access key. And then I have the algorithm ED25519. And let's say I want to also get did configured with the method key. And if I'm executing this now, what we will get back is the key. So first of all, the server, then the access key, the ID of the key we just created. And if we quickly jump over to our HashiCorp Vault instance, here we see now we have this key. So K20, which is this which we got back. So we can now just copy this whole response. And by the way, these values with the underscore, we could also leave out for our next input, but for performance reasons, we just keep that in. Otherwise, they need to be fetched again from the HashiCorp Vault. So if we go now to our chart issue endpoint, which lets us issue a verifiable credential with a short signature via the OpenID for VC protocol. And if we now here in the body provide what we just copied, so as an issuance key and as an issue did, the ones we just created, and then our VC, so what the credential we want to issue, in this case, it's an open badge credential. So I have that here, a mapping function for data that should be inserted in the credential at the time of claiming. And if I execute this now, we will get back our classical OpenID for VC offer URL, which I can now copy and go over to our wallet. And here now receive the credential. And here we can now see our did key, which we originally created via the onboard call, and which is backed by a key which is stored in the HashiCorp Vault, meaning this key will never leave the secure environment. And with that, you have seen how you can use the HashiCorp Vault as a secure key store together with the walt.id issuer API to sign and issue credentials to your users. I will link in the description a direct link to our documentation where you can jump into the issuer API as well as the setup of the HashiCorp Vault and the configuration and start issuing credentials to your users. With that, happy building and see you next time.